Hi, my name is Jennifer Rummage, and I want to share the story of my great uncle, John Lawrence Rummage. This is a picture of him. I think you can see it. He was in World War II, and he was in the Battle of the Bulge, and he was killed actually in the Battle of the Bulge on January the 1st, 1945, and he was in the 11th Armored Division, 42nd Tank Battalion, Company C. And I did learn from the Freedom of Information Act that he was killed by a gunshot wound to the heart. And I did find out through some other research that he was not in his tank at the time, and it was obviously a sniper that got him. And like I said, it was the Battle of the Bulge, January 1st, 1945. He was 20 years old. He'd only been in the Army for about a year. He was drafted in 43, and he went overseas in the fall of 44. And then obviously he died on January 1st in probably the worst battle of all of World War II. So I just wanted to share about my great uncle. This is my great uncle. It was my granddaddy's brother. He was the youngest, or second to the youngest in the family. He had another brother in World War II that survived and came home, but he was the only one that didn't make it home. So this is his, I think it's his boot camp picture. And he's actually buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and I went to visit him a few years ago, his grave. And a story about that, when he was killed in Belgium, they buried him for several years in France. And in 1948, they contacted his mother and said, we're going to not have any of these soldiers in France anymore. We're going to send them back to the States. Where do you want your son? And she thought for a while, and she said, just go ahead and put him in Arlington. So he was transferred in 1948 and buried in Arlington in 1948, where that's his final resting place. So that's my story of Private John Rummage, killed in Battle of the Bulge, January 1st, 1945. Thank you for listening.